What's up, Drop Pod listeners? You can check out new episodes of the Drop Podcast every Tuesday and Thursday, wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find all of our content on YouTube at the Drop Golf Podcast and on our socials. That's Instagram and Twitter at the Drop_pod. No matter how you consume us, like, subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff. Follow and listen along.
This episode is brought to you by All County Exteriors. Discover the excellence of All County Exteriors, a third-generation leader in premier exterior home remodeling, proudly celebrating over 40 years of success. While most remodeling companies last just 5 years, All County Exteriors has withstood the test of time, consistently delivering top-quality roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Their expertise extends from small repairs to large additions, serving homeowners and builders alike. More than just a construction company, All County Exteriors is deeply committed to community service, proudly supporting organizations such as the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the American Cancer Society, Roofs for Troops, and Parents of Autistic Children. If you have planned to do any exterior remodeling, call the experts at All County Exteriors for a free, no obligation estimate for your project. Just call 732-370-2780 or email them at info@allcountyonline.com. That's 732-370-2780 for All County Exteriors for all your remodeling needs. This is the Drop Podcast where we talk golfing in the Garden State. I'm Mike Poro, and this is Ryan Coulott.
Drop Pod people, how you doing this week? Man, Mike and I have some big news. We're coming at you on Tuesday, May the 7th. Big change. Same two guys, same good-looking guys, same topics, talking golfing in the Garden State. Just a new time, right? We're here Tuesday, not Wednesday anymore. So we're going Tuesdays and Thursdays now. What we're going to do, what Mike and I decided, we're going to give a try and see if we like it, see if it's better for us, see if it works better. We're going to have our episode on Tuesdays. Every Tuesday at 5 o'clock, episode's going to come out. That's different from Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we're going to have our interview for whoever that week's guest is. We have almost always had a guest on, but if we don't have a guest that week, we'll tell you. There just won't be an episode out that on Thursday. We'll tell you in Tuesday's episode, but for you guys that are following along, we got a pretty good, loyal contingency of listeners that I think this is it's gonna shorten your overall what you have to listen to. So, essentially rather than listening to, an hour and a half or an hour and 20 minutes, it's going to be 40 on Tuesday, 40 on Wednesday kind of thing is the idea here. So
40 on Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday,
what did I say?
Wednesday.
See, even I'm screwing it up. So that's what we're trying to do. Try to break it up a little bit. We're gonna again come out Tuesday, Thursday mornings. It's on the YouTube. You could follow it on the Instagram. Wherever you listen to podcasts is obviously where it's going to be living. So make sure you're staying up with some of the new changes. I hope we don't lose anybody and get confused along the way there.
Well, listen, I think even if they did, they'd be a day late and they'd learn quickly that everything is now Tuesday, Thursday. And I think for the most part, this is going to be a positive change because I think for a lot of us, when you're thinking about your ride into work or when you're thinking about your working out or however you may consume us in that aspect, typically it's 40 minutes, 40, 45 minutes. Sometimes it's a little shorter, but you're able to get that done and typically a round trip from you to work and then back home in the same day. And it's the same thing with the interview. So there's no kind of like, I got to find another 45 minutes on another day or I got to wait a day. You'll be able to consume it all that Tuesday and then also that Thursday when the interview comes out. And listen, if it doesn't work and the audience prefers strictly the Wednesday thing, then we'll go back to it. But I think this is going to be a positive change because, when you put the poll out there and people are asking for this and they want this and the DMs and the texts are coming through, we're a man of the people. So we're going to give the people what they want as best we can, knowing that this is more or less a passion and a hobby that we enjoy doing.
Yeah, no doubt. So, again, Tuesday, Thursday.
And let's start it off with a hit. And we got a hit.
We got a big one.
We got a banger.
We got an absolute
banger right off the bat.
Right. let's start with the beginning of the week, Mike. Yesterday you put out Mike Verse. You played. We got to play Skyway, which we're going to get into this episode. You put out your Mike Verse, the par 4 fifth hole. That came out yesterday. Head over to YouTube, Instagram, go check it out. Today, episode 83, Tuesday, May 7th. Head over to YouTube to watch it, subscribe. You got it on Spotify and anywhere you listen to podcasts. That's Tuesday. That's today. Tomorrow, my episode against Skyway is coming out. Again, Mike and I were fortunate. We'll get into that later this episode to go up and play Skyway together. We had ourselves a day, but I take on the par 3 second hole. That'll be Wednesday's episode. Again, last week we talked about Magic Mike Mondays is going to be Mike's content day. With this switch, I'm going to be on Wednesdays. And then, as you said, a banger, Thursday's interview is the one, the only, the voice of NBC, Dan Hicks. Dan Hicks 2.0, Mike. We had Dan on again to talk about just a myriad of topics. We talk about who's going to be his guest in the booth for the U.S. Open coming up. What they've been doing, kind of what the thoughts are with some of the people. We go into Smiley Kaufman, we go into Kevin Kisner, and then go into he's got the Olympics coming up this summer. So we had a great interview with him. I know I had to jump off. Kind of early in the interview, but it's an awesome interview. You guys are going to absolutely love it. Again, Dan Hicks is not a small fish, and he's not in a small pond. He is a big name, and we're fortunate that he came on and gave us some time. So again, that's coming out Thursday. Again, wherever you listen to podcasts, you can go check it out on the YouTube as well.
He does make his U.S. Open prediction as well, and that's I'm not going to leave any names out or anything, but I'll tell you, we talked about the guy that always wears red.
You got to stop talking Tiger. You just have to.
It came up in listen, I had Dan Hicks on. There's some memorable Tiger calls from Dan Hicks. There was no way that the biggest Tiger Woods fan that lives is not bringing up Tiger Woods to Mr. Dan Hicks himself. So I did. At the very tail end of the episode, I brought it up. So you'll have to stay tuned.
And then Friday is like a kind of a follow-up day. I'm sure we'll be putting out some reels of some stuff, and there'll be some things out there. So no strong content to watch out for, but
Fun Friday.
Fun Friday. I like that. There you go. You got Magic Mike Monday, Fun Friday. You got to keep them coming.
Got it all this week. Got it all this week.
Some quick housekeeping things. We are sneaking up on 4,000 followers, Mike, on Instagram. I think I think you said 6 right before we started recording here. So if you're not following along and you're listening, hit that follow button, man. It's quite a treat that we have enough people listening out there and following along. The same thing. If you're following on Instagram, head over to our YouTube channel, the Drop Golf Podcast, and go give us a subscribe button. Again, all of our content is on there. There's even, the reels are great on Instagram. YouTube shorts are the same thing. And then we even have our long form stuff and everything there. So I'd say all of our content kind of lives on YouTube, even though we're pushing a lot of our stuff through Instagram. So again, kind of make sure you're jumping over to both.
So I know that we're, sniffing 4K right now and recording this on Sunday evening. Today's Tuesday, only being 6 shy. I wouldn't be surprised when this thing comes out if we're already there. So, I mean, listen, 4K is on the horizon, 5K is on the horizon. Hell, the moon is on the horizon.
Love it, for sure. I 6 away. If you're listening to this and you're already, get a friend to give us a follow. This is coming out Tuesday. And as you guys all know, May 7th is a big day for a lot of people here, but for us particularly, Mike and his partner Austin they qualified for the 4-ball. played at Hollywood. So that was kind of a big topic last week. So, Mike, best of luck as this is coming out. You guys are able to follow along. If you go to the NJSGA, you can probably follow it on the website, but if not on Instagram, they'll have the Golf Genius app open starting at 7:30. You can follow along for any of the guests that we've had, or again, Mike tees off at late morning, so certainly give him a follow. And Mike, I'm going to try to get out there and cheer you on for a little bit and see how things go for you. So that's kind of what we got going on this week. I know the weather, hopefully it holds up for you, but yeah,
We've got to be top 16. We got to be top 16 after today. I know today's Tuesday, so if we got to be top 16. If we get to top 16, you turn to match play starting tomorrow, and then we all know how match play goes. At that point, you never know what happens in match play. And I know I said a few weeks ago, I know the idea is always let's take it one day at a time. Let's take it one day. But let a man dream sometimes. Let a man dream. I'm just the jockey. And if I can hit the horse hard enough, who knows what can happen? You just saw the Kentucky Derby, how that thing finished. Hey, why not us?
Mm-hmm. Appropriate for the Derby this weekend. But yeah, Austin, as we've said, is an absolute horse. He's a stud. So yeah, hopefully you guys can get there, and then we'll roll the ball Wednesday, Thursday, and see what happens, literally and figuratively. see how it goes.
Are you looking for the perfect place to tee it up this season? Or just looking for a great spot for casual comfort food? Or how about the most picturesque backdrop for the wedding of your dreams? Then you need to go visit Galloping Hill Golf Course in Kenilworth, New Jersey. Conveniently located in Union County, right off exit 138 on the Garden State Parkway, Galloping Hill encompasses over more than 270 beautiful acres. It was again ranked in the top 10 of best public golf courses in New Jersey. Galloping Hill also offers a top 50 in the country learning center with 52 stalls and a 45,000 square foot practice area. In addition to a 9-hole course that is ranked in the top 10 of short courses in the entire country, Galloping Hill is more than just golf. The Hill Tavern Bar and Grill is a gastro pub with seasonal food and beer options updated regularly with amazing views of the course. Hosting over 100 golf outings and over 400 social events per year, their catering team consistently wins awards each year from the Knot and the Wedding Wire. Schedule a tour for your special event at the clubhouse at gallopinghill.com. It's all happening this year at Galloping Hill Golf Course.
The PPC was last week. That's where the professionals go, and the head pros or pros go. They try to qualify for the PGA Championship, and a bunch of them were able to make the cut, which is a huge accomplishment because you're talking about. Mike, do you know how many golfers were in it?
I don't, but it is like their major.
It is. It's their and major as it's the major for them. It's the head honcho because it's their opportunity to try to get into the PGA Championship. So, a few guys were able to make the cut, so congrats to them. I don't think anyone was able to move on from our section that is going to play in the PGA. But again, congrats to those guys for even making the cuts. A huge accomplishment.
Yeah, I mean, just to throw this out there, you had to finish top 20 in the event to make it to Valhalla. And if you recall, I mean, my man in red had some memories at Valhalla, if you recall. Just throwing this out there. But unfortunately, none of our guys did get into the top 20. But like you said, to your point, they made the cut, big time accomplishment. They cashed a little bit of a paycheck as well. So ain't nothing wrong with that, heading out to Texas
for sure
and cashing a check.
For sure. Speaking of cash and checks, Mike, big shout out to Chris Gotterup. Ryan McCormick finished T24 for Chris and T41 for Ryan at the Byron Nelson. Yeah, I don't know why I blanked there for a quick second, but yeah, that's huge. Again, cash and checks is ultimately what we want to do. And next week we got the Myrtle Beach Classic. All three of them are in, so another opportunity there. this is the first time that Myrtle Beach is hosting a PGA tournament. So I imagine we'll talk more about it in next week's episode, Mike. But that is quite an accomplishment for Myrtle Beach. It's I'm sure they're glad it's coming there, but also for a town that literally you drive into town and it says Golf Town USA is the sign, to have never hosted a PGA event is rather shocking. Um so let's see how it goes. I'm sure that there's going to be more rolling into that area, because that's a booming area of the country. Everyone knows Myrtle Beach, but even the area around it's gonna be popping too. So, um, and then Corn Ferry Tour starts up May 16th, so they're on a little hiatus right now. So a little bit of housekeeping going on there. Mike, let's get into the day that we had. It was quite a day. Mike and I were fortunate enough, if you recall from a number of episodes ago, we had the head pro of Liberty National on, Dan Schleichert, and you know Dan was able to get us out onto Liberty. We were kind of waiting for as close to uh, the Mizuho as we could, with Michelle Wie-West's event coming there again. If you remember last year, we went up, we interviewed Michelle Wie-West and had, walked the grounds and had a time. Uh, so we were trying to get it to see what the course would be like a little bit more, have it be fresh and kind of in as close to tournament conditions as we could get it. So Dan was nice enough to have us up there, and we had a day there, which we'll get into. But the day started with Mike and I going to Skyway, which we've talked quite about. We figured, let's kill two birds with one stone. We're up in the area. Let's make it happen. So fortunately, we had a late enough tee time at Liberty that we could get up and play Skyway early morning and then Liberty late morning, and it worked out perfectly. Um, let's start with Skyway, Mike, because I think let's start for the day. Let's start with the start of the day. My initial thought of Skyway was, where's my GPS taking me? You're going through, you're getting off the turnpike, you're weaving through Jersey City, and then all of a sudden you make a turn, you're in like an industrial complex, and then bam, golf course is on your left. So that was the first impression. And I don't know if it like brings you down, like, okay, this course can't be that good. It just happens to be the only course up here, so everybody loves it. The course was hot fire. The course was amazing. I absolutely loved it. It was so cool to have those views, the different juxtaposition of having like a quiet golf course. Like when you're in the middle of the golf course, you don't, you can kind of hear the trucks, but you don't see them. I think I said it to you on, I don't forget what hole it was, but then like to look out, you see like the bridge and some industrial buildings and everything. It's a really cool spot. It really is. And the golf course was amazing. And uh and it was incredible. It really was.
Listen, I know we talk a lot about this, the golf course and different things, but let's talk about the people there first.
Love it. Yep.
Because I think when you get to a spot, I'd like to think that we're starting to have the name get out there a little bit about who we are and what we're all about, and all about trying to promote all the good things that New Jersey has to offer. We got there and they treated us like rock stars. From Steve, the GM, who I had been communicating with beforehand, getting us out there, finding a way for us to get a tee time that morning before we went over to Liberty, well in advance. Like that was a great thing. To go in there, the guy in the pro shop was, open arms, trying to explain to us the ins and outs of the whole golf course. And then we get outside, and Leon's out there
My
again,
man Leon.
telling us again, hole by hole, about here's this, here's that. Right from the get-go, I was like, all right, this is a good spot. People are good. It's in a little secluded spot, to your point. The views are just spectacular. And to your point, dude, the golf course lived up to it.
It really did. We've had a lot of people, coming from our March Madness both years, and even just DMs, people talk about Skyway very, very highly. And I think that that's the toughest thing to do, is live up to expectations. When you hear all these good things and it not only meets those expectations, but goes above and beyond and exceeds it. The golf course was in absolutely phenomenal shape. Um, I had nothing bad to say about it. Uh, it was, the guys are out there raking bunkers while we're playing, and it was great. It really was. It was well manicured. The the fescue that's there is big. Like, you're not finding fescue that high many other places these days, or this early in the season. It was tremendous. And even like little things, like there was two porta johns on the course, Mike. Both of them had running water. They had hoses that kind of went to that connected the back, so like you could use the porta john, and then there was like a hand washing station outside of the porta john, little covering. Like little details like that are make a spot really good. As you said, it's like all the little details. You said it with Pine Valley. It's like every little thing, and I'm not trying to compare Skyway to Pine Valley, but like when you think of little things to make the experience better, that's one of them, right? It's on a block, a city block. So there's really no trees for you to go to the bathroom. So they got these porta johns, and they got, again, hand washing station. So it was just, it's one of those things that just like it's a you don't see that anywhere else. There's no other public golf course that has like a hand washing station at a porta john, right? It was awesome. And then yeah, the greens, they rolled well. It wasn't like it wasn't like, oh man, this is a muni course. No, they were rolling. I know they were a little bit aerated. I'd say they were 90% healed, but still rolled really nice, I thought. Uh, yeah, it was tremendous, a tremendous experience. And like you said, Leon was awesome. Our guy there was, talking up the course before, and just to again, I don't have enough good words to say about the whole day. The whole day is just a like a dream, and it started with a bang.
Yeah, and I mean, when you talk about the golf course itself, I think the golf course, I'll be quite honest, doesn't get enough positive feedback because most times people crap on 9-hole golf course. It's not real. It's
Everybody
a
said that. How
dump.
many times did
You
we
don't
hear
want to
that?
go play 9 holes. Oh, all the time.
Yeah,
And I tell you what, if I was in that area, I would love to go play there because to me it's not only a challenging 9 holes, but it is like well maintained. The greens roll. I'm a big optics guy. I like the views. Views matter to me when I'm on a golf course, and maybe to some people they don't. But to me, like the idea that I'm overlooking and I see the bridges in a distance, I see the industrial area in a distance, I see frankly a neighborhood and
right.
St. Peter's University
Hmm.
in a distance. Like all those little things tied up into this little 9-hole golf course that frankly is not easy.
No.
We played the black tees. I will say this. I think it's a golf course that if you play multiple times, you kind of know where your shots need to go. You have better visuals as
Hmm.
terms in terms of like where I'm aiming. But the greens were tough. There were some false fronts, some fall offs on the backside.
There
Like
were.
the golf course is not an easy 9-hole golf
No.
course. And for people that want to say like, oh, it's 9 holes, like I go take your game up there. Go take your game up there and let me know that you're not challenged because I will say this about that place. It doesn't get enough positive reinforcement about that place because listen, even the net on the one hole, I don't remember what hole that was, maybe like 4, maybe the net was all along the left-hand side, they had a
Yeah.
par 5. Again, I know people like, oh, the nets, dude, that's just something different. It's a little outside because you're not I liked it.
Yeah.
I thought the whole thing was great. Listen, and if you're an 18 hole like crazy person like me and you got to play 18 all the time, I have no problem playing the blacks and then maybe switching up and going to play the whites to challenge myself on the back. So to me, like, listen, great spot. I don't care where you are in the state of New Jersey. You need to go experience that spot, plain and simple. I don't know what else to say.
No doubt, Mike. You made a good point. I like it. It's clearly in talking to the guys, they were like, right now their first tee time is 6 a.m. So they're like, the sun is up, people are out there. And those are people that want to get in 9 holes. If you're walking, you're getting done in under 2 hours. So 6 a.m. is getting you done 7:30, maybe 7:45.
Right up my alley.
Right up your alley. And I think then those people can then go shower and get to work or whatever they need to do. So it's super effective in that way. But also, if you, like, to your point, if you wanted to double up and go 18, you could get challenged by the length from the blacks like we did, and then play it again from the blues and give yourself a little different angle. There were a couple tee boxes that had different angles to things. Like, forget what the par 3 was, but like, we were back across the cart path, and then
That might have been 5.
right,
Might have been 5. Something like 4, maybe
right, somewhere
4.
in there, and then the blue, the next tee up was not only a different angle, but it was 25, 30 yards shorter. So you have a different club, a different shot you're hitting. Yeah, I loved everything about it. Like you said, if you're in New Jersey and you're looking for a spot, doesn't matter where you're coming from. If you're coming up there, there's no reason. It's a 2-hour round. It was awesome. Loved it.
I will say this: the only negative that I have heard, we didn't experience it, so I can't really vouch for it. But I did get DM'd by a few people throughout this whole endeavor that we've taken on here, when we've talked about Skyway, that the later in the day that you go, the slower the rounds are. So to your point, like, I think if, like, when we went out, we had no problem getting around in 2 hours. We teed off at 7:50 for everybody that wants to know. We teed off at 7:50, zero issues getting around in 2 hours. A couple of the people that had DM me in the past had said they teed off more like around 11, 12, and it was slow. It was 2.5 plus. So that may be the only caveat, that if you're looking to play in a faster way, you may need to either go late afternoon or go early morning, with the understanding that, hey, listen, 9 holes in the middle of the day may be a little more jam packed.
And I think that's natural, right? If you look at like some of the courses that are like semi-private, and they say their member round is like 3:45, and their public round is 4:15. That's going to be inevitable for people that are either playing quick. Like, if you're out there that early in the morning, you want to get up and go. Let's move. If you're teeing off at 11:30, you may not have anything to do. You can enjoy a 2.5 hour round and take it a little bit slower. I would hope it doesn't get to 3, because that would be ridiculous. But I think 2.5 is slow, no doubt, but that's not unreasonable, as it's churning off foursomes from 6 a.m. to 3 o'clock. It's just going to get busy,
yeah,
right?
even later, probably. Yeah. But I mean, before you get to Liberty,
I'm not getting a Liberty. I was going to get to the 9th hole.
I'll say you got you got to get to you got a couple things that I don't know if you forgot, but I wanted to remind you, because I know that this is your thing, and I can't lie. As much as I absolutely can't stand this, there are listeners that support you in this endeavor, which is mind-boggling to me. So for those people that do listen to this and DM me and say, "No, Ryan's got a point about this," let him go on his tangent here. Here we go, folks.
These are my people, my golf cart people. These golf carts, man, let me tell you. Leon told us they were new. He didn't say how new, but he just said new. It was very clear that they were new. They were pristine inside. They had a nice little, like, kind of rubbery floor that wasn't just like matted, had these like little bubbles on it. The setup station, you know how sometimes like the cup holders come out? This was all flat. It was like on top. Oh, just stunning, beautiful. Loved it. It was really a treat. It was the self-parking ones, which, oh baby, when you don't, there's nothing more frustrating when you get out of a golf cart and you think you hit that little, there's like the brake and then that little top part for the brake, and you think you hit that and you miss it, and it doesn't catch or whatever, and the golf cart starts rolling. Nope, don't have to hit the brake here. You just get out of the golf cart. easy peasy. Um, honestly, the worst thing about it was, I wish its top speed was a little faster. I don't know what its top speed was, but if I'm trying to get ahead, like if I'm trying to go, like, and I have a straightaway par five, I should be able to cook a little bit, and that was the only thing. I don't know how much is it, 10 miles an hour, so I'd like 12 to 15. I don't know what those numbers are, but that would be my only thing. It was spacious, it was awesome. It didn't have a GPS, but that's okay. It didn't have to. Um it was amazing. Loved it. It was terrific. I knew you were going to give that to me. I think
Listen, I couldn't not, for as much as I heard it that day. I was like, if as much as I was like, you know what, I'm not even gonna bring it up in case he forgets, because then I'd be like, all right, it wasn't that
Oh,
impactful.
I didn't forget.
But then I was like, there's no way he forgot, and I better just tee him up so he can hit this one down the fairway. So you did.
Well, that'd be the only one I hit down the fairway that day. It was
Dun-dun-dun.
Mike, we did get a lot of DMs, I think. So I don't know how we're going to do this. Like, I guess we'll put like a carousel of pictures on the golf carts and just have a little description, I guess. But maybe we'll do that. I don't know if I'm going to be rating golf carts. Just this one got an A. That's what I'll do. It was an A. And then and I was going to talk about this first because the golf cart kind of, as you drop it off, I guess we could end it. Our ninth hole was what legends are made of. I would say it was spectacular. We teed off again from the backs, and anyone that's played there knows the back tees are kind of, I wouldn't say a shoot, but you got to walk backwards. The bushes kind of bend out, so you can kind of have some room there. It's like a little walking path behind and to your left. I don't remember what it was playing exactly, Mike, but you went
It was
first.
like in the 175 ballpark.
It's exactly what I was
something like that.
thinking. Yep, somewhere in there. You hit first, and you went top right into the fescue. On top of
Right
the
on top of
hill,
the mound.
there's like a mound
Yep.
there that kind of protects because from there, the first tee is to the left. You go down a little bit. That's like the starter there. So there needs to be something to protect them, and you got on the mound there. So then I go and I top it. I get past the ladies' tee, but just barely. I am still on the tee box. Not the black tee box, but I'm up a ways. But I am still hitting my second shot off of a tee box. So I hit mine. I get it on the green. It checked a bit, which was abnormal for me, but it stopped. I had maybe 20-footer, 15-footer, something like that. The green is a two-tiered green from front right to back left. There's like a crest in the middle of it. And I was on the wrong side of it. I was on the top side. So I had, again, 15, 20-foot putt with a good bit of right to left swing coming down this mound here. You're up in the on the mound, hitting out of the fescue.
In the weeds.
In the weeds. And you hit a phenomenal shot. Lands softly. I'm up by the green by now. I'm on the green. I'm marking my ball. It hit softly and just trickled right down into the gimme range. I know we don't do gimmies, but it was within a foot and a half, 2 feet maybe. Even you'd make that putt. So you had a great par.
Hear that, Jerry Porro? Hear that, Jerry Porro?
It was a great shot. I mean, I don't know. I didn't go up there, so I don't know what your lie was like. But again, it's all that fescue grass, and it was a tough up and down. You had to hit it high, so you had to get under the ball so it would land soft and still trickle out. It was a beautiful shot. It was very well done. And then I'm just, I get up there and I take a line, and I'm just trying to get the speed right and just try to get into that same gimme range. And I envisioned where your ball was and made a circle around it, kind of like the hula hoop theory, and just was like, get it inside here. Just take your bogey. Let's not make a mess of this. I hit the putt, had the right line, the right speed, The skies opened, make my par. Two beautiful pars to end the day on two awful tee shots.
Yeah, listen, I don't even know what to say. The result, sometimes whatever you write on the card is never indicative as to what actual shots were hit. Let's just say
Yeah,
that.
and it couldn't have been more true there. Again, a heroic chip from you, a heroic long putt from me. So it was a good way to end the round there. So then we head over to Liberty, right? You good with Skyway? Let's head over to Liberty.
Yeah, 100%.
Which I think Mike and I both thought the same thing. They're both in Jersey City. It'll be fine. Well, it was I don't know how the GPSs took us, but it took us two different ways through neighborhoods that were not the best neighborhoods, but we get to Liberty National. And Mike, from checking in, from pulling up to the gate, it's what you're getting into right away when you have the guy Charlie at the gate there. He's checking you in, and what's the name? Ryan Coulott. I have it this time. Oh, hey, how you doing? He's yucking it up. He's making jokes. Hey, have a blessed day. Enjoy your round. Play well. God bless you, Charlie. Thank you, man. It's just like put a smile on your face, put you in a good mood right away. And then you got to go up the driveway, and it kind of bends around a little bit. You can kind of start seeing the New York skyline. You kind of pull around. You got the valet there. They take your bag out. You get your shoes. You go. We go in. We see Dan gets us all set up in the locker room. We got our names on lockers. For our temporary locker for the day. We get our shoes on. We go back out. Honestly, the only thing about the place, the pro shop is really small for how big the place is. Right? It's an odd size considering everything is so grandiose. The pro shop is rather small for whatever that's worth. But you walk in.
Yeah, but I will say this. I will say this about the pro shop. Pine Valleys is smaller.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you say small, I'm like, okay, like it wasn't terrible.
No,
small.
I'm just saying. No. I've probably even been in smaller pro shops. I'm saying for how big. I mean, you walk in and you have these
Yeah.
I mean, the
Well, the
double
amenities
doors that
in
you
there-
walk in through are like
Yeah.
15 feet. The door, so like everything is so big and grand that like to have a pro shop that's just like a regular size pro shop seems small, compared to the rest of it, because you got these big, beautiful glass windows, looks out into the city, looks out the Statue of Liberty. You got the harbor there, the ferry, that like walking path that takes you to Liberty State Park. The whole thing was just, it's so grandiose. It really, it's so stunningly big and beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, listen, and I think in terms of why it may be small, because think about the clientele. They're really probably there exclusively to get in there, be private, play their golf, and then get out of there. So I think in terms of like needing this big hoorah type of a pro shop is unnecessary. But they had the amenities in there. They had a little gym in there, a little
Oh
weight
yeah.
room I saw downstairs. They had a huge locker with amazing views. We've been in that, I guess, conference room where we sat down with Michelle. Like, so there is a lot more to that place and that building than maybe just the pro shop. But to the pro shop's point, I mean, they had everything in there. If you wanted something with that sweet logo, I mean, to your point, you got one of the hats on right now. Like, they got stuff. They got stuff, and that logo that they have on the shirts is yeah, exactly. It's a great logo. It's a rare one, and it's one of those ones that like when you see it, it's a special.
It is. So we check in. Dan's there to meet us. We pull in, go put our shoes on. I take a little walk. Mike, I don't know if you walked the locker room at all, but like the big glass windows are also at the end of the locker room, kind of overlooking like the back. The back of the locker room there has the best view of the city, maybe on the entire property. It was beautiful. So then we make our way up. We go through the pro shop. We go hit some balls. We get ready. We get hooked up with our caddy, and we're off. Right? Our guy Neville was awesome. It was so cool, and I think we talked about this, Mike. That's the way I want to see the course, right? Like walking around, having someone who can tell me a little bit about it so I can kind of maybe make some decisions for myself, but like I can ask a question, he knows what's going on, but really just like I think you miss something when you're on the golf cart, right? The golf cart's kind of off to the side, usually on the right side, and you don't get the full view of everything, right? When you're walking down the middle of the fairway, which happened a few times to me that day, or even just the start of the fairway before I had to go left or right. y- You get a full view. You get a better feeling of the course. I don't know how else to describe it, but like you feel more in tune with with the nature of it, with the game, with your game, with the course, with everything. It's how golf is meant to be played. So when you get a place that does, and we've talked about this, a place that does have caddies, or a place that's like super top notch like this, you want to make sure you experience it in that way.
Yeah, and to your point, Neville was outstanding. So I'm sure he's listening now and a follower of ours, but he was outstanding. He knew the little ins and outs of the place. But yeah, listen, it was a great start to the day, and anytime that you can get to a spot like that, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of speechless.
Yeah.
I thought the whole course was really really good, and getting to play it when we did was perfect timing because Michelle's tournament's coming in there in what starts. I think May 11th is the week it
I
starts
think
of.
this Saturday
You
is the
know,
last time that they shut it down so that it's just
yeah,
pros. So
yeah, it's in great
yeah.
shape. So, I mean, what'd you think of it? I mean, I'd love to hear some things that you thought about, like in terms of some of the holes that stand out to you. You know,
So to me, that first hole stands out because you're walking right from there's like a little, like a huge a little creek, and there's a huge like slate slab or whatever that you walk over. Which this is going to be a theme for me. Like the little things matter, and there's so many little things like this little walking bridge, but just like it's beautiful, it's smooth, there's no rise to it, there's no gaps in it. The grass goes right up to it, so like even though everybody walks over it, there's not like it's not like the grass is matted down anywhere. It's in great shape there. So like little things like that. And you got the creek that continues to run the whole way up to like a um little waterfall in the distance kind of thing. It just, I don't know. Like I felt I couldn't stop smiling the whole first hole because I was like, this is incredible. I'm at a place that I have only dreamed I could play, and I just it was again I just had a smile the entire time.
yeah. I mean, I think for me, like when I think about the golf course
I have
on the
other
front
holes, I
nine.
should say, Mike, but
Yeah, but to me, like I don't know, that fourth hole was really cool, where it had the whole rock wall kind of built up in front of it. The greens elevated a little bit. You can start to see the Statue of Liberty in the background, and to me, that was like the first spot that I was like, "Wow, this place is good." And for someone who's such an optics guy and the visuals
Mhm.
matter, I right off the bat there was like, "Okay, like
Right. You got the
we are
Freedom
really."
Tower basically lined up with the
Yeah,
flag. You got the
yeah,
Statue of Liberty there. You got the
yeah.
and another thing that I know both you and I commented out there, the runoffs. So there's no rough into any of the hazards. Like it just the fairway runs into the water there. So
Runs into the
runs
bunker.
into the bunkers. There's a lot of that just like natural runoff there. So like I hit it in the water on that hole. So I'm walking along the side, and there's just like there's turtles that have just they just there's nothing they have to climb. They're just walking right into the fairway of the hole. So yeah, to your point, like the view, the optics in the distance. To Shane Bacon's point, the golf course is a zoo, and it really is. It's there's just so much beauty there. Um, but that was a great hole. and then you go, you kind of go over. I like that little bridge there that gets you to the halfway house, and those three holes. Neville said it was on the other side. I don't. I mean, it is kind of on the other side, but like
Well, it's over the road. It's over the
right, but
road.
over the road into that little side of the property and seeing where the tournament.
Right.
That was really the hole that I thought was the biggest. Um, like looking back, we didn't play the tournament tees. We didn't play the 7,500 yards or whatever it can tip out to. But looking at that hole, Neville was like, they just built that one. Look at it over there, and like seeing that, like it's not just over the road; it's well past the road. Is really pretty something. That was really impressive. So and then even like again, you talk about like the people that at Skyway, you go into the halfway house and the lady's there. She's like, "What can I get you?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm just need a snack or something." And she goes, "Okay, I can get you this. If you need a drink, we can get you that." Just like she's like, it's complimentary. It's all what you want." And I was like, just like again, another little thing that like goes such a long way. Someone who's just I just wanted a candy bar, just want a granola bar, just want like a little something, and she's over the moon happy to help me get a granola bar. It's just like again, really good service there. That's their number one thing, and I know we'll get into that because I think that's the first thing that they want to make sure that every little detail like that is taken care of.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it was so good. I mean, that fourth hole, I think for me on the front was really good. And listen, I think the course conditions kind of speak for themselves. We caught it at the perfect time. Everything was lush. Even to Neville's point, the greens might not have been as fast as they will be next week for Michelle's tournament. They weren't slow, people. Let me tell you that they weren't slow. And then every hole on the back nine, I felt like it just had its own little like mark on you from anything from the par three. What was that par three? It was
14, yeah,
14, a little par three right there. To me, that was
with
like
with Lady Liberty to the
so,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
so good there. If I recall, I birdied that hole, which made it even sweeter. Um, I had to throw that
He
in there. But
did. He
anyway,
did. And he made the
like,
putt too. I wasn't gonna give him
yeah,
birdie putts.
yeah, getting a putt out of you is like playing with my dad sometimes. But anyway, that's
Hold
a
on.
whole
For a
nother
birdie
podcast.
putt, you gotta
That's a
you
whole
gotta earn the
that's a whole
birdie.
other podcast. That's a whole
Earn
other
your
podcast.
birdie.
Gimmies with Ryan. Dot dot dot. They don't happen. But anyway, like the back nine. I mean, like that 13th, 14th hole. That 14th
I
hole
even
was
think the
sweet.
hole before, if you were to ask me like the amen corner kind of like that par five that I know you weren't happy with you put it in the water there, but like that was
Yeah,
that
stupid.
was a great hole. Then you go to the par three, and then you kind of cross back over the walking path and you go to that par four. Like that's a nice little stretch there. Like
Yeah, to me,
optically
yeah.
and like course wise, design wise.
14, 15, 18. Best three on the back nine to me. 14, 15, 18. I thought 14, 16.
60. I was
Sorry.
gonna say not
14,
15.
16. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. 14, 16, 18. Those three on the back nine just stand out.
Hmm.
16 being a little kind of a drivable par four. You got a whole creek along the right hand side. You could hit it in there like I did, or you can hit it left like you did and make
Right.
birdie. So
I,
there's different ways to play the
hold
hole.
on, hold on, hold on,
Um,
hold on. Don't overstep that. I made birdie on that hole.
yeah, I
I
know,
know.
which is
No, I
said.
know you
Or
said
you could
it,
hit
but
in the
I hope
water
just
like I
didn't. I
did.
hope it didn't just skip over the water, right? Like it just like a rock. We gotta let's. We. It's the only birdie I made.
Yeah, I mean, to me, and again, standing on that tee box and looking at that was a
Beautiful.
really good looking hole. And then,
But also
listen,
so
I don't
different.
know.
Like all the other holes. Like we
Yeah,
talked about beauty. Like seeing the Statue of Liberty is beautiful. Seeing the city skyline is beautiful. But like this was like the water and the flowers and the aesthetics. There was none of that like none of that beauty of the city there. It was only the hole. It was the pond. It was that little waterfall that kind of trickled off. It was the rock work that was along there. All of it was stunning. Absolutely
yeah,
beautiful.
perfectly. Yeah, perfectly said. And then you get on 18 and forget about it.
Yeah.
Like, it just
Stop.
forget about it.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know where do you want to go? You want to talk about the tee shot? Okay, you got the tee shot. You got the Statue of Liberty, which really feels like if I put my right hand out, I'm going to touch the
Hmm.
damn thing. Okay, I see the unbelievable clubhouse right there. Bam. The ending hole as you're walking up is just getting better every step that you
Hmm.
take. That second shot into there is like you got the little patio out there. You got people watching you. Like you can see where they're starting to set the grandstand up on the left hand
Yep.
side. Like you're not going to find a better finishing hole that encompasses everything. At least from like me, that's looking for you got everything. It's a challenging hole.
Hmm.
I thought I hit a good drive, and I'm still hitting a full 7-iron into that. You got perfectly
Yep.
placed fairway bunkers on the left hand side.
Right, which I
You got a
found.
no joke, yeah,
I had
no
a great
joke of a
drive, and it
green.
went right into the, again,
Yeah,
perfectly placed small little pot bunker that I went into. Yeah,
great finishing
designed
hole.
for
To
sure.
me, to me that summarized a great ending to a great day.
Hmm. The thing I will say, Mike, as we're kind of getting away from the course now, I think the course is maybe tertiary, which means third most important thing there. It's the it's the ambiance of the place, the grandness of everything there. It's the service, and then it's the golf course. Because now that we're done, we go there. The cars are valeted, so the valet is going to get our car, going to throw our clubs in, and he asked me if I'd like a tepid or a chilled bottle of water for my ride home. Verbatim, that was his words. Never in my life. I've had people put my bag in the back of the car. Never has anybody asked what kind of water I want. Again, the assumption I do want water. Would I like it tepid or chilled? It was just like, again, you go back to the little things. That's the little thing that matters. And again, I think that's why that place. That's the ambiance there. That's the course is stunning and beautiful, and as far as the design of the golf course, it's awesome. But it's the grandness of everything else. It's the service. It's the high classness that I think overtakes the golf course and makes it the aura that it is. Because it is. I have nothing bad to say about the golf course, but the service and again the ambiance there is better than the golf course.
I'd say I give you one word there to describe it.
Okay, what is it?
All three in one thing.
Hmm.
Elite.
Yep, it is. It is. There's a reason why Justin Timberlake lives in Los Angeles but is a member there. There's a reason why big time people are members there. It is elite. There's a reason. But man, we had an absolute banger of a day. It was really a special day. It really was. So I just again I said it when I talked about the first hole, Mike. I just feel so blessed, so lucky to have gotten out there. It's literally a dream to have played that place, and it lived up to the hype. Again, we talked about it at Skyway. I had all these expectations, and it only exceeded them. I just wish I could have played
Great
better.
ending. Great ending to a great day.
It really was. Mike, you got anything else for us today?
All good,
No,
buddy.
we had a big this was a heavy episode of golf talk. So I mean it is a golf podcast. um as we said at the beginning, stay tuned on Thursday. Our interview with Dan Hicks. I don't know who Dam is, but Dan Hicks is going to be coming out on Thursday. That's going to wrap it up for us. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you on Thursday. Play well.
And if you can't play well, play fast.